Hi again, this is now my fourth video trying to finish this. Sorry, my charger disconnected and so I had to I have to close my laptop and open it up again, and then I was like, oh my god, did this whole video just delete because it wasn't there? But then it started playing. I was like, whew, oh my god, thank you. So anyways, basically I had gotten to a place in my life where um for the millionth time, like I was saying, I was like in my mind, like I've been with this dude for 4.5 years and we've broken up a million fucking times. I'm like, and I've never felt like this in my heart. Like I moved into like my cousin's room who had lived with me, who I had not stepped in that room since like she had left and you know, that whole weird thing between them had happened. So I was like staying in that room and like I was drinking like wine in like bathtubs. Like I could not and I started talking to my ex. Like that's how I knew like deep down like I'm like something is really fucked up because this guy like literally spit at me in a party in front of everybody. And I'm at the point right now where I'm kind of like, you know what, if you're out there listening and like you're a person from my past and you don't like the fact that like I'm like putting you out there like that, it's kind of like, first of all, I'm not using anyone's name. Second of all, it's kind of like if you don't like it, then you shouldn't have treated someone like a piece of shit. Like, sorry to say, you know? But, because I'm the kind of person who I'm like, hey, if I fuck someone over and they want to talk about it, like, I shouldn't have done that. But, so, like, deep down, I knew that something was wrong because I was talking to my ex again. Like, he hit me up on Facebook Messenger. And he was like, oh my god, like, I'd love to take you to, like, he's like, when I see you, I would love to take you to, like, downtown to, like, a date, like, on a horse carriage or something. And, like, it was just so random. Like, I just needed attention. Like, I really, at that time, I just needed constant attention because I was so insecure. And deep down, what was really happening was that I couldn't stand the fact, I couldn't accept for myself that I had met the one guy that I really, really cared about, who was perfect for me, who was handsome, goofy, kind, smart, um, conscious of others and himself, like musically inclined, had great taste in music, was really interesting, was really wise, was really patient, um, like just basically was like my perfect fit. I couldn't accept that I had hurt this person. So it was a really strange thing because I had called him the dude that I lost, the one that got away. At work that one day, he said no, like not into it. Um, and then so I was like randomly messaging my ex-boyfriend, the one of 4 years, and then randomly one night, like I was just he was like, hey, like, would you want to hang out? Like, I'd love to see you, and like, we could just go out to eat or something and just like catch up. Like, I wasn't even like in like the headspace of like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like that with him. I was just like, okay, like he's showing like that he like at that time it was really stupid because what was really happening was like he had realized that I had really loved him and he had lost someone really close to him and he was basically just he just wanted to use me for my empathy and that's like what he always did. So and he was realizing that all the girls that he would cheat on me with didn't really give a fuck. They just were with him because he would give them the D and he would give everyone the D. So I was an idiot to go back out with him. And then it turns out that when I was um, so basically, I went and I saw him one night. But before I saw him that night, I was on the phone with the guy that got away for 3 hours, and we had like the best conversation ever. And I was like, I was such an idiot for going to see my ex-boyfriend. But like, it's kind of like I'm just gonna say what happened now because I'm an honest person, and it sucks and it's hard to say, it really sucks to like be honest about it because it makes me realize even more how much of a douche that I was to this person. But I just couldn't, like, I could not, like, I feel like in my heart, like, now I know that I went back to my ex-boyfriend who treated me like shit and was really horrible to me because my heart couldn't accept that I lost, like, basically my closest friend that I ever knew. Um, and if you're watching, like, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. Like, there'll never be enough words to explain, you know, what happened between us. And, you know, I wasn't myself at that time, and you loved me more than I deserved. And I never thought that I deserved you. So, um, anyways, I miss you, and I hope that you're doing good, though. And I hope that you're happy and like living a life that you love. Um, anyways, so yeah, me and him had a really great conversation. We talked on the phone for like 3 hours, and then I ended up seeing my ex-boyfriend. He picked me up in the alley, because I did not, like, this was just like, it should have been a sign, a clear sign. I didn't want him to pick me up at my house because I didn't want my family to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going back to this fucking asshole when you've been so happy with this guy and talking nonstop about him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone that knew me, like, from when I had dated this guy for 4 years, like, they were basically like, when I was dating this guy for 3 months, they're like, oh my god, Megan, it's you. You've gotten back to yourself. You're happy. You're like, you're sure, you're like, can't believe that this guy like loves you, but you're like actually just like taking cute pictures, going out like for Halloween with him, like getting dressed up again. Like I would like care like so much how I looked around this guy. Like I would like get ready, do my makeup, do my hair, find a cute outfit, try to like look cute. Like I was always just like, oh my god, like he's so cute. Like I need to like, you know what I mean? But I was also a crazy bitch with sadly enough, it's something I shouldn't laugh about. I'm just laughing because I don't know what else to do because I was an asshole. Um, so yeah, I saw my ex-boyfriend and he was like, oh yeah, like I would love to take you out, like downtown, like horse and carriage, like nice dinner. We ended up like getting like a fucking red box and like hanging out at his house, and he like ordered a pizza. I was like, dude, you haven't changed at all. But then I ended up getting with him because it was like something that was just like comfortable. And then after that, like in my head, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, how the fuck did I do this? Like, how the fuck did I do this? Like, this guy that I've been dating for 3 months has been helping me, like, get over all of, like, this past trauma, like, all of, like, my, like, you know, when, like, you go through, like, shit with, like, someone and you just have, like, certain things, like, certain habits, like, certain things that you do, like, it was horrible. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like, I've totally failed. Like, I've totally failed myself. Like, I let myself down so much. Like, I've let this person down so much. And then I made the great idea, which is just like, just who I am at my core, is like, I'm an honest person. I had no one else to call. I tried to call this one guy on Facebook, and like, I told him, like, oh my god, I got with my ex-boyfriend, and like, I've been dating this guy for like 3 months, and I'm really in love with him, and how did I do this? I totally fucked up. And he was just like, ha ha ha, like, good for you, have a great life. He was one of those people who was like kind of happy to hear that you're doing shitty because it made him feel better about himself. I was like, okay, I'm never talking to you again. So I ended up calling the one that got away, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, something horrible happened. I don't know what to do. I would need to tell someone, because I wasn't going to tell my family, because they would have been like, are you shitting me? Like, you got back with him? You're an idiot. Like, we're not dealing with this shit again. So I called the one that got away, and he was like, well, now you have to tell me, because, like, you can't just say that and not tell me. And I was like, shit, like, I knew in my heart, I'm like, the minute I tell him, any chance that I have of us getting back together is gonna push him away. Like, I'm totally gonna lose him. And I did. Like, as soon as I said it, I was like, I was with my ex-boyfriend again, and he was like, I can't believe you. Like, you've made a complete fool out of me. Like, everyone who was, like, with, like, everyone before we dated, like, told me, like, be careful with her. Like, you know, you don't want to be used in something like that. And so he really felt used. And, like, because I ended up dating my ex-boyfriend again after him, which was super duper, like, horribly shitty. Like, basically, honestly, when I think about it, it's the shittiest thing I could have done, like, to him and to anyone. It's the worst thing I've ever done to anybody. Which really sucks, because I didn't mean to do it against anybody. And, I really hurt him, but the truth is that what I really was doing was that I just didn't care about myself, because to go back to this guy it meant that what it really meant was that I didn't give a fuck about myself. And that was really the truth, was that after I lost this guy, I did not give a shit about myself at all. I did not give a fuck. I was like, I basically put myself in a place where I knew that I would constantly have my mind, um, like, distracted, so I wouldn't have to deal with the fact that I lost him, because that's all I did for the next few months. I put myself in a place where I had no time by myself. I spent all my time with other people. I would, every time that I had a moment to myself, I would put myself in a place where I was distracted, because the minute that I got to the point where I was like, and months later, I had to deal with the fact of like being by myself and dealing with it, and I was like, oh my God, I lost the best thing I ever had. And I've been ignoring it. And since getting back with this guy, our relationship is 10 times worse than it was before. And then he like had recently like unblocked me on Facebook, and I looked at like our old, like the one that got away. I looked at like um our old messages on Facebook, and I was like, wow, I was a bitch, because he was like, I hope that like the like relationship is better with you and everything, and like he's not spitting at you and cheating on you anymore. And I was like, oh yeah, like he treats me great, because I couldn't be like, yeah, like at that time, like I was too in my ego, and I couldn't just be like, yeah, I've totally fucked up, and I miss you, and like I've lost the best thing I ever had, and like I'm so sorry for like everything. Like I was just heartbroken, honestly. And like I was a bitch because I was so miserable, and because I was being cheated on and I knew it. And it went back to the same thing. Like the guy was like talking to other girls, and we would go to parties, and like you know when like you're a girl, and you, first of all, you know when another girl likes your man. Second of all, you know when another girl has been with your man, and you know when he's been with her, because the way that they interact with each other, it's like, okay, like, and then I was just at that point where I was just like, me and my ex-boyfriend who I got back with, like, we got back to his house one time, and I was like, we were at that party, this girl got you a Christmas present, why don't you just admit that you've been with her, because she's texted you right in front of me asking if you guys are going to do what you've been doing. Like, why don't you just be a man and actually, like, fess up about it? Because, like, we've known each other for almost 5 years now, and we're literally, like, just be honest. At least treat me like a friend, you know what I mean? At least let's leave this on a place where like we can both go our separate ways, but where we're being honest. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you when you're not an honest person. You're not even a man. You're a coward. I don't even know why I went back out with you. And then like he was like, how can you be mad at me for like being with another girl when like you were dating like that guy? And I'm like, first of all, he's the first guy I dated in like 4 years. Second of all, he's like 10 times the man that you've ever been, so don't talk shit about him, because he said something shitty about him. And I'm just like, you don't even know him. He's kind, he's wonderful, he has a backbone, he's not you. He actually treats women with respect, which you've never done. I mean, you couldn't even treat your mother with respect, so how did I expect you to treat me with respect? And maybe I should have said that right now, but that's the truth. And he never treated women with respect. He always was like that. And then like after, because that was just like a fight that we had gotten into like in the moment, and like I just had defended like my now a different ex-boyfriend, the one that got away. And then after that, to myself, I was thinking like, wow, I was just defending to my boyfriend this guy that I dated who's 10 times better than him. Like, what the fuck am I doing? So we like stopped dating, because then like my girlfriend who I was friends with, like, we'll just call her Betty. Like, she texted me one day, and she was like always like getting with guys. Like, she would always like have like guys come over. Like, me and her would be hanging out at her house, and like some random dude like named like George would come over, and she was like, hey, like I'm just gonna like do him in the room for like 15 minutes. I was like, really? Like, this is how you're gonna like treat me? Like, okay, what the hell? We would like go out, like we would always go to like the Sybaris. Like, we would go to she would just like get the one with like the pool and like the waterfall and like the slide, and we would just like drink and like go down the slide and like smoke weed in the little sauna thing, and like we would just do random stuff. Like, but one time we like went there, and then like she just like had this like guy come over, and she just like had sex with him, and it's like, it's a glass window. Like, this is so awkward. Like, I'm just in the pool like swimming around, because I'm like, what else am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you can't do that, because like, to each their own. But I'm like, I'm just gonna go in the sauna. Because, like, I don't want to see you guys and what you're doing. Like, that's so weird. But anyway, so she was always having sex with all these guys. And even when I dated the one that got away, I should have known because me and him were like out in the living room one morning and she came out and she was like, oh, I'm going over to this one guy's house to like go down on him. Like, why would you say that in front of like my boyfriend? Like, and then I was, of course, like really worried because she was like skinnier and like, you know, by like, society's definitions, like prettier than me. She had a thinner face, which I hate how chubby my face is. Oh! But so I was really worried that he was gonna like that or like want her, you know, like in that way. And then I was trying to figure out if like he was, you know, but he was just kind of like doing his thing, like playing a game on the couch. Like he was so cute. But so she was always like the kind of girl who just needed every guy's attention in the room, you know. She always needed to be the center of attention. She always needed to be like have every guy after her. Like it's just like really. And then like, and I should have known because the one that got away was like, I don't really like you hanging out with her. Like you're like just like different when you're around her. Yeah, I ended up really fucking over this guy because when I was hanging out with that girl one day, just be honest, I was in the place in my life where I had a lot of shit that I was not dealing with. And I was just like, we just got fucked up on a bunch of shit. And like, just like cocaine and weed and alcohol. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really know about putting this on the internet because people are going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to judge you. But it's like, this is my past. I'm going to be honest with it because people might be going through the same thing. Not everybody talks about it, but I'm an honest person. And this is just what I feel like doing. I feel like in my soul, I got close to dying. So I want to put my story out there because I'm comfortable with talking about it now. And I'm not afraid to be judged. And I've accepted myself and what I've done and what I've went through. So that's what I'm going to do. And if someone chooses to judge me for it, then I'm really sorry that that's the stance that you take in life. It's judging other people's stories, but we all have one. So, you know, and we all go through our own shit. I just choose to talk about it. Because the truth is, I'm strong enough to take whatever criticism I get about it. I've been called every name in the book, so I'm putting it out there. And this is the truth of what I've went through. And hopefully well, honestly, I really hope that this will help someone else not take for granted a really wonderful person, you know, because it is my biggest regret. I am not a person who has a lot of regrets. I know this is a side note, but I am the girl who have went through 10 years of shitty relationships where I lost all my friends. All my relationships with my family was totally horribly. They were like so estranged, I guess the word is. And I really lost myself. You know, I really truly lost myself. I lost my vision of what I wanted for my life and who I was at my core. You know, I treated people horribly. I was a very, very selfish person. And I was not grateful at all. Um, and so, yeah, I was hanging out with that girl who always like got with random guys and I got really messed up. You know, and she was like, you want to sleep in this random bedroom? I was like, sure. And this random guy who was like playing like guitar just came in the room. He's like, hey, can I sleep in here? There's nowhere else to sleep. And I should have said like no. But I was just like, yeah, sure, that's fine, you know, because I don't really care at the time. And I ended up, you know, cheating on the one that got away with him. And it's going to sound stupid, but this is going to sound like, oh, it's just an excuse, but like I had fallen asleep and I was so messed up that when we were doing stuff, which it wasn't even like anything, honestly, I kind of like at first thought that it was my boyfriend. And then I realized it wasn't because like, you know, why someone's like body, how they feel. And then I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck is happening? And then, yeah, so anyone that watches this, that knows him, is definitely going to be like, you were right to break up with her, which sucks, you know? But, I mean, the truth is that I don't deserve him for what I did to him, you know, and I don't blame him for blocking me, which is the saddest part, because ever since then, you know, when I got, basically the end of this is that when I got back with my ex-boyfriend of 4.5 years, it was my karma because all that happened was that I got cheated on more than ever before. Basically, everyone that I was friends with that had felt bad for me for it was like, you're an idiot for getting back with him. Like, they're, like, you know, once, shame on them, twice, shame on you, And so everyone was just over it and over hearing about it, and they were just kind of like, what else did you expect from this guy? And what ended up happening was that I trusted my ex-boyfriend like I did before. How we broke up was that we were in the car, and he was on the phone. He had my sister's number in his phone, and I was like, why do you have my sister's number in your phone? And he couldn't answer that. And then he ended up going to where she lived for some NASCAR thing, and I was like, really? You're gonna go to watch NASCAR where my sister fucking lives? And he was at my parents' house with me. Well, there's two different things that happened. Excuse me, the car thing is a different thing. But he had been over at my parents' house with me. He had brought a 30 case of beer like underneath a coat, and he was wasted. And he was like trying to break up with me, but then he was like, no, I want to stay in this. And we were like talking about it for like 3 hours. I'm like, what do you want? Do you want to be with me? Like, stop fucking with my head, or do you want to work this out? Like, it's either one or the other. And I'm like, and I don't want to be with you if you're going to go to where my sister lives when you have her number in your phone. How did it get there? And then like he knocked over the salt rock lamp with his like 30 case of beer. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, wait, no, like, let's work it out. Like, chasing him, making a fool of myself. My parents get involved. They're like, what's going on? My dad's like, you shouldn't, like, he's like, why can't he go to where Emma lives? I'm like, are you serious? He promised me that he wasn't going to go there. Why are you taking his side? And then I was crying, and he's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, you know what? Get the hell out of here. I don't want to deal with you anymore. You're not a man, and you're just going to end up doing what you want to do, and completely, basically karma was that I got fucked over because this guy didn't care, and I fucked over someone really great for someone who I should have let go the first time. And I was crying, and then he left with like his case of beer and everything, and like then like I walked out when he was like saying goodbye, and he was shaking hands to my dad. I was like, are you serious? Why are you shaking this guy's hand? So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was that I stayed with him while he went there where my sister lived, and something in my heart just didn't feel right. I kept asking my sister about it, and she ended up blocking me on her phone. I was like, that's great. My family didn't really care at that point. And then I had trusted him a lot. We had been at his house, and he was driving me home. And I said something to him, and he's like, you shouldn't have trusted me. Like, you're a fucking whore. And I was like, wow, are you kidding me? Like, he parked in my driveway. I'm just putting it out there, like, for the world, I guess. Like, this is just the truth of my life and who I once was and what I went through. And I was like, I'm like, go to hell. And he's like, I've been in hell for 4 years with you. And I just smacked him across the face and left. I was in my family's breezeway, which is like a patio. It's like a screened-in patio. And I just curled up in like fetus position and cried because I had lost everyone in my life and I had never felt lower. And that was how we ended. And the thing was that he had left a backpack at my house, which he like then like afterwards was like, oh, I love this backpack. I really need it. I was like, what do you need it? Like, and then I looked in this backpack because it was really heavy. It had chains, it had duct tape, it had all these like fucked up like sexual toys that he had never used on me. I was like, wow, it had rope and shit. And I'm like, this is what you fucking want back? I emptied the whole backpack of all that shit in the garbage, and when he came in, I just threw it at him, and I'm like, get the hell out of here. You're not allowed here anymore. Do not come over here. Do not be annoying my parents. Do not, think that he like was like, oh, I'm gonna go to your family's like vacation, guy's fishing trip. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not part of this family, and you're not gonna become part of this family. Me and you are not getting married. This relationship is over. You are an asshole. Leave me alone. Bye-bye. Because like whenever we would break up, he'd be like, oh, I need a box of my stuff. Like, you need a box of your stuff. I have like 7 socks to yours, 2 shirts, and like 1 pair of boxers from like 5 years ago that you left here. Like, get the hell out of here. But he would be like, I want that TV that I gave back to you. Like, dude, take your fucking TV. Like, you are so petty. You're not even a guy. You act like a woman. Like, and then every time that me and him would break up, I was just like, this guy is literally so immature. But I got what I deserved. That was my karma. So after that, I had to deal with the fact that I lost my ex-boyfriend sometime after, like, I'm one of, like, I don't know, sometime after that, though, me and the one that got away, like, he, like, texted me one night. He's like, hey, do you want to hang out? I was like, oh my god, I'd love to hang out. And I got, like, all ready. I did my hair. I did my makeup. I, like, got a cute clothing outfit on. You know, when you're a girl, you're just like, I gotta try 17 things on. So there's, like, clothes everywhere because you, like, want to wear the right thing. You want to look super cute. And, like, we hung out. And, like, it was, like, how it always was. Like, I saw him. He got in the car. We just, like, talked for a few minutes. And it was just, like, that vibe where you're just, like, you're feeling each other. And then we're just, like, got in the back seat, started kissing, started being really cute, and then we like spent some time together. But the next day I really wanted to see him again, and then like he got in the car and I was like, can I have a kiss? And he was like, nope. And I was like, what's the matter? Like, and then I was like really worried. I was like, oh my god, like, you know, did I do something wrong? Like, what's up with him? Like, I really don't want to ruin this, you know? And like, I would have, like, dropped, like, everything for him, but he was just kind of like, I don't think it's a good idea for us to be friends or be in each other's lives. Like, I'm gonna go and spend, like, the day by myself. And I was, like, just, like, asking. I was like, can I have a kiss? He was like, no. Like, I was like, okay, can I have a hug? He was like, I'm giving you a hug, but I really don't want to. Like, distance, distance, distance. And that's like how we would always be. When we were together, like he would be like, I'm just gonna spend a day by myself, and I was like, why don't you want to spend a day with me? Like, let's spend a day together and have a picnic and be super cute. And he was just kinda like, I'm doing my own thing. But now I'm like at a place where I'm like, you know, like the truth is that like I've been single since all that happened. That was a while ago now. Years ago now, and it's just like the way that it happened was like this person that I dated for 3 months. It wasn't very long, but it was the deepest and truest love that I've ever felt, and the most like natural that I ever was with someone, that I ever allowed myself to be with someone, and the person that I ended up trusting most with like my body, and maybe that's saying too much, but that's just the truth. And, you know, so after that, it was kind of like, I fucked up. I got my heart kicked out of my chest again, but I deserved it, you know, and, I'm starting over. I'm not having people in my life anymore that only care about, that only want to go out, people that are only around me, but they talk shit behind my back, people that are just in it for the lifestyle of, you know, going out and like getting drunk or getting trashed, you know, and they don't really care. Like, I want to be around people who are like spiritually conscious. I want to be around people who are kind. I want to be people who are honest to my face. I want to be around people that I don't have to second guess myself around, because I spent a lot of my life with friends that I kept for years. Like, oh my god, this girl I knew since kindergarten, and I kept her in my life, but she got with my ex-boyfriend and she talked about me behind my back. And then I was like trying so hard to keep our friendship together, but it was like we were only friends because I had known her for so long, but we had nothing in common anymore. We weren't the same people, and that's okay, you know. That's okay. That's part of life, you know. You grow up, and sometimes people don't. You can't take them to the next level because you're just not. You know, it'll only hold you back. That's what I learned. So after that, it changed me a lot. And after that, I was also like, okay, like this is like a long shot, but if it's not this guy, the one that got away, then I don't want it to be anybody, because all I'm ever gonna do is you know, compare to him, which is all I've ever done. Whenever I see anybody, I'm just like, it's not him, it's not him, you know. So I'm just kind of like, eh. And then he got a girlfriend for a while, and I was like, oh my god, checking up on his Facebook, and then like I was like, oh my god, he has a girlfriend. Like my heart, like I took a bunch of sleeping pills. I just went to bed because I couldn't handle it. To be honest, I was like, yeah, my heart's broken, you know. And then I was like, oh my god, like maybe I should try, seeing another guy and seeing if that like will like help, that's like what most people do. And then I did that and I was like, and I'm just thinking about him the entire time too. So it doesn't even matter. Like, what I'm trying to say is like all of this is to say, if you have someone who loves you and treats you with respect and cares about you and is a good man or a good woman, they are hard to come by. It is a rare thing when someone actually gives a shit in this like world. And it's a rare thing when someone is a real person. And it's a really, really, really rare thing to have someone who actually cares about what's good for you. Like, most people only care about what's good for themselves, and that's what I learned from this whole thing. And then also after my suicide attempt and, getting close to death, it kind of made me realize, I've lived a good life. I've done a lot of crazy things. I've lived my life and it's been mine. I've been an authentic person. I never gave myself away, I did for a while in that horrible relationship that lasted 4 years. Um, I definitely lost myself. I definitely, changed my morals and changed my standards and everything like that. And it changed me. And I definitely lost myself in that amount of time. But after that, it was kind of like I'm promising myself, after that horrible heartbreak, I will never let anyone treat me badly. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not going to have people around me that don't care. I'm going to get back to me and, um, ever since like this suicide attempt, it's really been like, what, if you're gonna be alive, like, I was sad for a long time and I spent a lot of time after, months after the suicide attempt, wondering why wasn't I good enough for God to take me? Why am I still here? I got so close to leaving and I knew that when I got close to leaving that it was a beautiful place that I was going to. And I felt safe and I was like, it's so weird, I questioned for a long time, how did that happen? How did I get so close to dying and I was bleeding out and my soul was leaving my body and my parents just ran in, obviously because of consciousness, and I kept asking them for months after. I was just talking to my family like, why won't you tell me that there's consciousness exists? Why won't you be honest about it? Why can't we just talk about it? Why can't we talk about metaphysics? Why can't we talk about awakeness? Why can't we talk about awakenings and consciousness and twin flames? And that's what I wanted to talk about. Twin flames. And let me write that down or else I'll forget again. It's like, why can't we talk about why you guys ran in, And when they ran in, I was like, please don't call the ambulance. I'm happy where I'm going. And the ambulance showed up, and then I was like, I'm still stuck here. So I'll get to the twin flames thing, but now going on to ever since the suicide attempt, like I said, when I tried to kill myself, I was thrown into consciousness. So I awoke, I was awakened. Finally. And the whole reason I am awakened is because of this ex-boyfriend, this man who got away. Which I've said like 900 times. I'm like, the one that got away, the one that got away. But it's just like, he really is. So, but he taught me a lot. He taught me about like false flags. He taught me about, you know, the reality of the universe and, fabric of reality and fabric of existence and setting intentions and, the real story of the crucifixion and, all of these things, like things that happen in the government, things that happen in the world, which I was like always recording him when he talked, and like I still have these recordings of him. Like, I don't know if that's creepy or not, but it's the truth. So, yeah, I woke up because of him, and he had given me, when we were dating, a Twin Flames book. So what a twin flame is, because most people don't know what it is when two souls in the creation of souls by Source or God or whatever you want to call it are made in a white fire body of light, and then they are separated, and through going through lifetimes on Earth, um, they go further and further, they grow further and further apart from each other because they grow further and further apart from Source, as we are humans and have human experiences and are reincarnated, we have grown farther and farther apart from God or godliness or Source, from our best selves. We sinned, you know, in past lives. We might have had someone that we dated or was married to or had a love affair with or had a fight with or did something really horrible to or just had, you know, a bad experience with. That's why when you meet someone, sometimes you can just kind of feel like, I don't really, like, there's something about you, like, I'm just, like, not feeling it. Like, you know, you meet those people, sometimes you're just like, like, I just have this, like, weird feeling towards you, like, we're not gonna get along, or I just have this disposition towards you to, like, kind of, like, not want to meet you. Or some people are like, oh my god, like, we instantly connect, and, like, I just feel like this, like, kind of, like, connection between us, like, that might be someone in your past life who, like, you had, like, a, you know, a significant relationship or friendship with or something like that. Twin flames, though, is like, and that's like a soulmate. That's like a soul connection. But a twin flame is someone who, like, you share, like, you're two parts of the same soul. So my ex had given me this twin flame book, and I read the whole thing. After I got back from the hospital, my dad had thrown it out. I was like, and I'm getting another one. But my ex, the one that got away, had given me, I'm going to keep saying that, everyone's probably going to be like, shut up. But he had given me the power, he had left me with the Power of Now book, The Little Prince, which I didn't read The Little Prince, I watched it on Netflix though. It's a really cute story. He like, well, I mean, you should watch it if you get a chance to. And Twin Flames and Soulmates by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And The Power of Now is obviously by Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if it's Tolle or Tolle. And Little Prince, I don't know who his name is. He has a really interesting name though, but I don't know who wrote it honestly because I didn't read it. I like flipped to random pages and I read it, and I'm like, oh, I should read this because there's pictures in here. but I read the Twin Flames and I read most of The Power of Now. So what had happened was I just went to the lake one day. It was my grandma's 80th birthday, and I was like not really seeing anyone in my family because all that stuff had happened with my cousin, and I just didn't really feel like comfortable around them because a lot of them I felt like would always talk about me like I'm batshit crazy, and I don't feel like many of them at that time had much respect for me, for like who I was, you know, and I just didn't feel really. That's not. I don't know if respect is the word. I guess I didn't feel very like understood by them, or seen for who I was. That's what I mean. So I went to the lake one day, and it was August 18th, I think, of 2017. Almost a month before I tried to kill myself, and I read this Violet Flame incantation, by the lake, and it's gonna sound crazy. A lot of this sounds crazy, but if you're a spiritual person and like you're like into higher consciousness, you know, and like you connect with like the collective conscious community and stuff, you know, you have like awareness of self, you know, and the reality is that like reality is an illusion, you know, self is an illusion. Like if you take away like my name, my job, my, you know, all the things that are like, you know, what am I? I am another you, you know. We are all just experiencing, we're all just the universe experiencing ourselves from a different point of the universe experiencing itself. So, and then like our soul keeps growing. It's just like a soul journey. But that like depends on like if you believe in like reincarnation, you know, if you believe in like a soul journey, if you believe in like, you know, that there is consciousness in all things, like a plant, the air, you know, a fish, a zebra, you know, a person, a baby, like a rock, like there consciousness is in all things. So it's all the universe experiencing itself in a different form, basically. So in that way, we are all connected. But anyway, so I went to the lake. I read this Violet Flame incantation. If you get the chance, you should really read The Power of Now or Twin Flames and Twin Flames and Soulmates, because it's really interesting. And then I also got Karma and Reincarnation by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, but I have only read half that book. And then I got this book Frequency, and then I got this book like Eternal Life and A Course in Miracles, and like my God, like Rise, Sister Rise, and um, all these types of books, like all these spiritual books. Um, but yeah, so I went to I keep saying the same thing over and over. God, I'm annoying. I'm really sorry. But I read this incantation, and I'm not kidding. I was sitting in front of the lake, and the sky was like, had been really like, it looked like it was going to rain, and then it just cleared, like in like a matter of seconds. And like, it was so nice out. It was like, the clouds just moved rapidly, and like the sky was like clear of clouds. It was sunny out, and I felt this deep presence for the first time in my life, like this deep interconnectedness to like all things. It was really beautiful. And then in the middle of feeling all that, I was like wondering, like something, like I was no thought. It was like thoughtless awareness, and it was really beautiful. And ever since then, like Jim Carrey said, I've been trying to get back to it ever since then. Um, but it's somewhere in the middle of feeling all that, I was like, oh my God, I wonder how long this is gonna last for. And then it like stopped. It stopped because then I was thinking again, you know? So now I'm like trying to get into meditation and yoga and stuff, you know, to reach thoughtless awareness. And I have a lot of awesome visualizations, which is awesome. Um, but yeah, I think that was the beginning of like my like trip into consciousness. After I tried to kill myself, I was like super duper like into it. And then after that, I was like able to like visualize, like I've had the most lucid and like, oh, like most intense dreams of my life. But I need the only, like ever since then, since my last hospital stay, I was like, I'm not taking any more antidepressants. I'm not taking any more of these medicines. I had basically, they put me on like every single medicine out there, and after trying all of them, and then like at some point, like they put me on lithium, and I was like, dude, I'm over this shit. Like, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking 5 medicines a day for being a conscious person who's half and half. Like, this is just not, they haven't, you know, there's never going to be medicine for this. And I don't want to be sedated my whole life, you know? And so I talked to my like psychiatrist dude about it. I was like, look, I'll take medicine to fall asleep because I literally need medicine to fall asleep because there's so much consciousness streaming through my mind at all times. Like, um, and I don't call it my mind because it's like really our minds, like if you know anything about anything, it's like they can put any thought that they want in your mind. And like the truth is that schooling, like education, like the education system is basically like what they do is like they take a bright, open-minded, clear channel of imagination and creativity, and like, you know, something, a small child, a mind and a soul, um, that is capable of endless potential. And what they basically do is they teach a child, this is what you should think. You know, a good teacher won't tell you what to think. You know, they won't tell you how to think. You know, they'll just teach you, and they'll let you take it in however you want. You know, um, but that's what they do is they basically take kids and they're just like, hey, this is what you're supposed to think. This is how you're supposed to think. This is how you're supposed to do things. You're doing that. Don't do that. Don't be that creative. Don't be that musically inclined. Don't be this expressive of yourself. You know, stay in this little fucking box. And it's like, and then people for like, what basically coming into consciousness has taught me is like there's a lot of unlearning to do because all of that is conditioning. It's just mental conditioning to make you live in this paradigm, you know, and this is a failing paradigm. Like it's definitely like consciousness is naturally evolving to such a point now where it's like it's obviously going to happen where this paradigm is just falling apart on its own. They're trying so hard to keep it like together with all their like fake news propaganda and all their like, you know, Hollywood tabloids, but people are starting to catch on, you know, like it's natural. And like there's so many things that are raising consciousness, like the conscious community and like evolution and things like that. It's just naturally happening where like people are just getting smarter, you know, and they're having less like, what's the word? Less attention and focus towards things that don't agree with their soul. So, Yeah, but this twin flame thing, like basically I've been like really into the twin flame journey, and like the whole reason that I became conscious is because of this twin flame, excuse me, book, and like coming into consciousness that way. And then basically what a twin flame journey is two people who are ascending and trying to embody their highest selves and becoming whole each on their own, so that when they come together, they are both like whole together. They don't need each other. They are like, they just want each other, and therefore they are both fulfilling their own missions, like singularly, like as individuals. They're both able to have their own individual identity, and then they're also able to come together and have a partnership rather than like, um, a partnership, which is great because it's like we're 50-50, we're equals. I don't expect you to take care of me. I don't expect you to pay for me. I don't expect you to like fund my entire life. I'm not with you because of the money, which is kind of sad when like girls are with guys because of like their money. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, that's pretty sad, dude. But some chicks are like that, and to each their own. But it's basically like coming into divine union where you're each your divine selves. They're called the divine feminine and divine masculine. So it's your divine counterpart. It's a person who you share your soul with, who is actually a mirror, like they mirror you back to yourself, which is like somewhere it says like some people think a soulmate is like your perfect partner, but it's not. A perfect, that's like, first of all, perfection is like it doesn't exist. And to try and search for it your entire life, you're just going to be unhappy. But the truth is like if you are with that person that mirrors you back. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I was saying. Like a soul partner, your soulmate is not the person who's perfect for you. The person who you're meant to be with is the person who mirrors you back to yourself and makes you aware of all the stuff inside yourself that you need to deal with so that you can deal with it. And then when you're with them, you're not with them out of need. You're not with them out of like, I lack something that you bring into me, which is what a lot of people are with each other for. They're just kind of like, I'm sad by myself. Everyone wants love. But when you're not whole by yourself, like I wasn't whole with that guy for 4.5 years, and I kept trying to like, it was 4.5 years, but I kept trying to find, myself or what I was lacking in someone else. And it's like, that's never going to happen. And now it's kind of like, I can't believe I wasted 4 years of my life with that guy. Like, he is the one person who, if I saw him and he tried to talk to me, I'd be like, you were an asshole. You were the biggest asshole I ever met. Good luck to you, and I'll see you around. Bye. Anyone else, like, I would give the time of day to, but he is just the one person I would never talk to again. Like, more than that. But yeah, this twin flame journey has definitely been the reason for me coming into higher consciousness. It's a reason I'm on an ascension path, which being on an ascension path, if you're on it or if you're into higher consciousness or if you're into anything like that, then you know that there's a lot of blockages that you meet. There's a lot of things that you come into contact with, which is basically either like trauma from like when you were a child, trauma from your younger life, maybe things from past lives that you have to deal with. Things that don't agree with your soul. You might have to disconnect with people who don't bring out the best in you anymore, which is hard. You might have to be on your own for a while, which is the point that I'm at. I got to the point where I was like, I'm restarting my life. My family was great enough to, back me on getting an apartment so I could be away from the, atmosphere that I was in, which was I was surrounded by old friends that didn't care about me. Now I'm kind of coming into contact with old people from my past who are awesome, and I'm really excited and happy about that. But it's like, but I needed that time by myself to truly understand, like, who I am at my core, to find myself again, and to learn all of the things that I've learned. If I had never, the truth is, I hate that I hurt this person so bad, but if I don't think if I hadn't hurt him and like went through what I went through and have went through so many nights of like missing him and wishing that like I was with him and knowing in my heart that he's the only man that I want, like if it's not him, then I'll be single for the rest of my life. That's just the truth. Like if it's not this guy, I'd rather be alone, I'm not going to settle. And the truth is that he is the one person that gave me the truest love that there ever is. And if I was with anybody else, I would always be comparing to this guy, you know? So, and I'm happy, you know, if it's not him, like, I won't be happy. I'll always miss him. But in my heart, like, at the end of the day, I'll be grateful that I did feel that love at one point in my life and that I did feel true love. And as they say, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. But hopefully, if you're out there and you're with someone and you're not sure about it, or you're kind of in a place where you're dealing with stuff with yourself, just know that there is stuff that you have to deal with yourself. And if you're taking it out on someone else, that just is a reflection that you have inner work to do. Because I wish that I wish that I would have came across this video. I probably wouldn't have had the patience to have watched it before all this shit that I went through with this guy, but I wish that I had watched a video like this and had that there was someone out there who just talked openly about the bad shit that the bad mistakes that they made and what they learned from it, because it's rare that people do. I think, honestly, I think a lot of this world is, you know, since social media came around and like Facebook and Instagram, a lot of it is like people posting to be like, this is my life and this is how perfect I am and this is how perfect I look and this is how perfect my relationship is. This is how perfect everything is. I have no problems and everything just goes great for me and I have all my money like situated and like everything's just working out. Like, that's not reality. Like, everyone has like bullshit that they're dealing with. Like, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has days where they wake up and they're like, God, I don't want to fucking get up today. Like, everyone has like mistakes and regrets they've made in their life. Like, that is just the truth. And I'm an honest person, and I'm hoping that this will help someone or inspire someone, or at least, you know, wake some people up, you know, to the reality of the world. And the reality that is that this world that we live in is not real. Reality is an illusion. This is all a matrix of the mind. If you're into higher consciousness, or if you're not yet, you know, there's so much, like, what all this has taught me is to free your mind. And what the one that got away taught me was that he said that the one thing that I try to, you know, remember is, I asked him what he believed in, and he said, I try my best not to believe in anything because my beliefs will all be gone by the time that I die. And that really spoke to me. It was like, you know, now I'm not into religion. I don't follow one religion. I don't follow any one belief system like that. I'm not the kind of person who's going to pick liber, whatever it's called, or Democrat or Republican, or like any type of like thing that defines your beliefs. Like, I don't believe in that. I believe in not believing in anything, because anything can change at any given time. You might be given some new information that'll totally catapult your mind into thinking something new or believing something new. So it's like, and we're always getting new information that changes our ways of thinking. The one constant in life is always change. The one thing we can always count on is getting new information that's going to open our minds even more. So what I've learned the most is to keep an open mind, keep an open heart. You know, basically going through life with an open mind and open heart is the biggest freedom you can give yourself, because paradise and freedom is truly a state of mind. Like, you know, paradise is a state of consciousness. This was something that I saw, and I was just like, dude, that's so true, you know? So, oh, God, this is really, really long. This is 53 minutes long. Oh my God, and my little puppy is But, yeah, so I hope that this is helping someone out there. If you're a girl and you're in a really shitty relationship, you know, and you're having a hard time letting go of that, I just want to let you know there is going to be someone who's going to treat you like a queen. You know, there is going to be a man out there who's going to treat you well. And if there's not, you know, at least give that to yourself. You know, it is honestly what I learned is, even though I'm not with the man that I want to be with, at least in the 3D realm, I'd rather be alone than be with someone who doesn't value me, you know. And you really have to, even if you're a guy watching this, you know, you really have to know your own value. If you're with a woman and she's not treating you right, or if you're with someone and they like cheat on you and like they just talk down to you and they make you feel like you're nothing, remember who you were before that relationship, and remember like that person at your core, and like know when you look in like the mirror, you just gotta say to yourself, I'm more than this. Like, there is more to me than this, and and I'd rather be around no one than be around people that treat me less than I deserve, you know? Give that to yourself, because everyone deserves that type of love. You know, that type of love when you go to bed at night, you're closing your eyes. And it's hard for me sometimes because I'm like, oh my God, if I was sleeping next to him, it'd just make everything so much easier. I'd be able to fall asleep so much easier. Also, if I didn't have like consciousness constantly going constantly through my head, it'd be easier to sleep. But just like when you go to bed at night, you want to be able to give yourself that love. You know, I am a person who's, you know, I that's like what I'm like learning to do, is like being able to say to myself, I might not be perfect, I might not be the perfect weight, I might not be society's idea of perfect, but I am still a good person with a big heart, and I have a beautiful soul. Have my own authentic personality. I am who I am. That's one thing that I'm proud of. That's one thing I'm happy about, but it's a humbling type of thing. It's not a proud type of thing. It's been a humbling thing for me to be like, through my life, I have ended up where I'm at now, at a place where I have found my inner self, you know? I've connected with my inner child. I've connected with who I am at my core. And my life might not be perfect right now, but it has taken a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of really, really hard days, you know, and inner battles and stuff, and days that aren't perfect, to get to a place where I'm like, I'm happy. Like I'm finally happy because I have finally learned how to love myself. And that's what I've learned, is that you could go to the most wonderful college in the world. You could spend $1 million on college. You could go through years of trying to get a doctorate or a PhD. You could have the most perfect job in the world and not be happy. Like my dad says that like his boss is always trying to like find like something that makes him happy. He's just trying to buy his happiness. And it's like a lot of people go through life trying to buy happiness. Money isn't gonna buy you happiness. You loving you is gonna make you happy. You know, going after your dreams is gonna make you happy. Being the kind of person that you look at and you're like, I respect you, I love you. You've worked a lot to get to where you're at, and I actually have learned to respect and love myself. I'm not going out there putting myself out there for people who don't care about me. I'm not giving myself and my heart to people who don't care. I'm not letting myself be disrespected. I'm not putting myself in situations where I'm being shat on. Like, you want to have a life that you love, and it does take a lot of work sometimes, but it is worth it at the end of the day. And that's what I've learned. So, and coming into consciousness has been really crazy, because this whole ascension process is honestly fucking intense. Like, there are some times where I've had to deal with some, like, my shadow self, you know, the dark night of the soul. I don't know if you're interested in this. I don't know if you have any awareness of this. If not, you know, look into it. It's something to look into, because, you know, once you, like, my goal is to ascend so I don't have to come back and reincarnate again. Like, I'm leaving. Like, when I'm leaving, that's what, like, after, like, getting close to, like, leaving to the other side, I was like, yep, well, I guess I'm not dying now, but I'm going to make sure that I send my ass out of here so that I don't come back here again. I'm not going to be reincarnated to this place of constant cycling. You know, I'm leaving. I am gone. When I'm gone, I'm gone. And when I'm gone, I'm not coming back. Which is kind of funny, because I have a shirt from A Day to Remember called Dead and Buried, and it says, when I leave, like, I'll be gone forever. So, and that's just like, yep, that's where I'm going, dude, and that's, like, my take on life. Like, we get reincarnated so many times, and that was something that I also learned in the Twin Flames book, is that we get reincarnated here until we balance our karma to 51%. And then a bodhisattva is the state of where you can reach nirvana, but you stay for the helping of other souls out of compassion. And nirvana is the state where you are detached, you have no desire, you have no want, you have no attachment. You are basically in a place of complete, you are content. You don't need anything to make you happy. You need the bare minimum: food, water, a roof over your head, clothes, you know, a job to get up to and work every day. But at your core, you are a content motherfucker. And that's just like, I'm working right now to try and get a job in a hospital, because after being in a hospital so many times, it'd be great to be in one and be able to help all those patients, you know, and be the person who's helping others rather than the one that's being helped. Because the one thing that also helped me a lot through my journey is that I've been through a hospital a lot of times. There was a lot of really, really hard times where I honestly did stuff out, like, from looking past myself. Like, I was like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for others. I'm doing this for my dad. I'm doing this for my mother. I'm doing this for my brother, my sister, my ex-boyfriend that I'm still in love with. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for all the friends that I had that listened to me through all of my bullshit. I'm doing this for every person that let me cry on their shoulder. I'm doing this for every person I've met in a hospital that has given me kindness and been there for me and given me, you know, and sat down with me and talked to me and listened to me and given me a piece of their heart for that amount of time. I'm doing this for all the people that would do it for me, that would look past their self for the bigger picture. And there's a lot of people out there that do stuff that have done things in this world, put products out there, put information out there, done things like written books, taken months of their life to write books, made amazing movies, made amazing artwork, made amazing sculptures, the Sistine Chapel, everything, architecture. They've created something that lives past themselves, but they've done it to help awaken the world and consciousness, to make people wake up so that we can all have this interconnected language that goes beyond verbal words. It's a language that we all speak, or that we all have the ability and capacity to learn, to ascend to speak to each other. And that's what so many people have put themselves aside to make things that speak out to the world, to wake people up. And that's when I was in the hospital, I was like, I have been a selfish person all my life. I'm going to do things now that's going to help raise consciousness. And I did some crazy shit. Maybe in a future videos I get to the point in my soul where I can put my ego aside and talk from a soul-based place. But it's some pretty intense shit that I did to help raise consciousness. But I know that it helped in some level. I might not get the recognition for it. I don't really need that. I just know in my heart I did stuff to help others, to help wake people up. And if it woke at least one person up, I'm happy, dude. You know, people have done things for me my entire life, and I didn't know why, you know. But now I see that they did it to try and help me. And that really opened up my heart a lot. You know, there's so many people in this world that I've met that have been ungodly, or very godly, kind to me. You know, especially my ex-lover, who just did it just to help wake me up, you know, and just did it just out of the kindness of the heart, just because that's the kind of person that they are. And that made me want to be that kind of person too, because it sucks to be an asshole, you know, it sucks to be selfish. At the end of the day, you don't really like yourself, you know. I've been there. I've been that person, you know, who was just a bitch. And it's like, I don't want to be a bitch. You know, I'll stick up for myself, and I'll be like, you know, don't call me any name, don't call me schizophrenic, bipolar, batshit crazy when I'm half and half and I'm a conscious person, and don't be indirect and talk about me behind my back. If you can't say it to my face, like, be a real person. If you're over 20 years old and you're talking about people behind their back, I mean, I guess figure out what's wrong in your life that's making you want to talk about someone else. But, this basically been a minute and 2 seconds, so I don't want to really make it that much longer than that. I'll make more videos later, but I hope this has helped someone. And yeah, you know, ever since, you know, all of this has happened, I've just been becoming more and more awake, more and more aware, freeing my mind, you know, and that's really the best thing that you can do for yourself, is to learn to free your mind of all the belief systems that you have. You know, just like when you're waking up one day, just like breathe in, think to yourself, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I have water, I have food, I have a roof, I have a job, and I have people that care. I am richer than I ever thought that I was. And I'm lucky, and I'm blessed. And go out into the world with abundance in your soul. I'm abundant. I have more than I need, not lack. You know, not I want this, I want that, I want that Adidas shirt for $75, or I need this amount of money by this amount of date. No, money is always gonna come and go. That's the one thing you can always like count on with money. You're gonna have enough of it, or too much of it, or not enough of it. It's always gonna be like that. Don't let money rule your life. Let happiness rule your life. Your pursuit, you know, Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness, you know. What's that guy's name? I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I know everything that shines ain't always gonna be gold. I'll be fine once I get it. I'll be good. It's about the journey to happiness. That's what I'm learning. Like, I try to make the best of every day and embrace every day because I'm always learning new stuff. I'm always being taught, hey, maybe, I don't got this right. I learned something new about myself. I make mistakes, I learned something new about myself. So, life is a journey. It's a beautiful journey. Like I said, if you have all those things, then be happy, man. There's people in the world who don't even get water for the day, who have to wait 6 hours for water. I don't know if you watched that Stella Artois or I don't know what it is, Stella, that beer, but Matt Damon did a whole thing for like people that they made like wait like 6 hours for water because that's how it is in third world countries. But like first world problems are really first world problems. Like the majority of like countries in the world are second and third world countries, dude. Like we got it so good. We have like technology. We all have like there's people that have like 17 houses like across the world and like cruise ships and like islands. It's like, dude, if you have a job and a place to rest your head at night, like, oh my God, there are people who are living in shacks who don't even have a house at all. There's little babies in Ethiopia whose stomachs are so big because they have no food and water in them. Like, look past yourself. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wake the world up to what the reality of the world is and where we're sitting from. We got it pretty good. And that's what it made me realize. I have my problems. We all have our bad days. We all have our shit that we go through. But at the end of the day, I have it a lot better than a lot of people. I might be complaining about something that other people would be happy to have. So I hope that this helps someone. I hope that if you are unconscious or if you're not really sure about twin flames or ascension or higher consciousness or, soulmates or anything like that, that it makes you want to look into it. I hope that if you're kind of an asshole, then you kind of choose to be a little bit nicer. If you're one of those assholes who, by the way, who just kind of like troll people online, like you like see a picture of a girl on like Instagram who's like wearing like a really, like she looks really hot in like a bathing suit, and you're that person who's like, oh, like you're a slut. Like, well, hold on. First of all, why are you as a woman hating on any other woman when you know that the world already is like hating on women to begin with? Second of all, what's wrong with your life that's making you want to hate on anybody to begin with? Like, if someone's looking good in a bathing suit, dude, good for them. They probably worked their ass off for it. If someone has like $1 million to their name, good. They probably worked their ass off for it. If someone has like a really nice car, dude, good for them. I'm always giving sending love, sending love, sending light. Like, I'm always like, dude, good for you. Comedian, you never know what someone's going through underneath the surface. You really never know. A kindness, like if you're human, then you know that a little bit of kindness can change your entire day. So be that kind of person. Be what you want to see in the world. That's what I learned. Michael Jackson. I'm starting with the man, woman in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Be a good person. Give love and light, and your entire world shifts. Honestly, it really does. When you start like, that's what I learned. One of the million things I learned from almost dying is that, first of all, a lot of people were super nice to me and it gave me so much compassion and love that I didn't even know. And secondly, it's just like, dude, when I learned, that I was shifting to a different dimension, to a different reality, and that when this life is over, your existence, like your soul does not die, it goes on. It was kind of like, oh my God, this like huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. Like, I have been afraid of dying, in the back of my mind forever. It's like human nature to do. But once I came to that conclusion that once I leave here, I'm not ending, I'm going on to someplace better, it was like, oh my God. This fear-based culture, this fear-based conditioning that we are given since birth. You go on the news and they give you 10 million reasons to be afraid, which is basically false flag planned propaganda from the fucking government that wants to control your mind and control your life, which it is really like The Matrix, the movie. Which is also like after that happened and after I went to, what was I just saying though? Because I don't want to forget it. Consciousness something. Oh shit, I already fucking forgot. Wow. Because I'm getting so excited. But after that moment, backtrack, after that moment at the lake, and I had like that moment where like I was connected to everything and I came into consciousness and was like that thoughtless awareness that changed my life. I drove around and some guy tried to run me off the road. All of the radio stations changed. Everything seems to be like pointed at me. It seemed like I could connect with everybody. It seemed like all of my thoughts were connected to everyone else as I thought something and I would get like an instant reaction from something. I pulled over the side of the street at like 4 or 5 in the morning, called my ex-boyfriend, the one that got away, and I was like, dude, can you please call me back because something's happening and my entire life has changed. I stopped at a ship harbor. I came across like boats that said clean living, who's your daddy, like all these types of like faithful spiritual things. And then I came home. I opened up the Power of Now book. It might sound crazy to some people. That's fine if you don't believe me. I don't really care. And the book, it added a bunch of pages, and I saw something come in from the other side. Like something was coming in from a different parallel reality because everything shifted. And that has ever since then changed my outlook on everything. Because I'm like, really, all I know is that we don't know anything. I don't know anything. And I'm a noob. And I'm willing to relearn everything and unlearn everything that I thought that I knew. And I learned that I was such a conditioned person that it was actually really sad. And to be really conditioned is something that you don't want to be. You don't want to be someone that can be conditioned. You don't want to be someone who others can tell you who you are. You want to be able to say, no, you're wrong. I am this, this, and that. I have an open mind. I have an open heart. I have a free soul. I'm fearless. And anything is possible. You know? That's freedom. That's liberation. That's a liberated soul, dude. But, yeah, so basically this entire journey has been really awakening, really amazing, really liberating. And even though it got really hard and there was a point where I didn't want to live anymore, I have now since embraced the life that I have. And I'm happy for the things that I do have. Even though I really, really am in love with someone and he's not here physically, we do have a twin flame connection and we can telepathically communicate. If you're into that, if you're part of it, if you're part of the conscious community, if you're aware of that, cool. Hi, nice to meet you, and like let's chit chat. And if you're not, then don't spend your time going on my page and leaving your negative comments. Just don't waste your time. Go away and go and hate on, I don't know, go try and fix something in yourself, because that's really what you're going to have to do if you're hating on other people. Because honestly, you probably don't want to spend your life being a bitch and a dick to other people. You're probably going to be pretty miserable that way. Because it's a miserable way to live. But anyways, I've been talking for a minute and 12, an hour and 12 seconds. An hour and 12 minutes lately. Just one more look at this little cutie pie. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's asleep. Next to me, I have 2 coffees, dude. Oh my god, it's a 2 coffee kind of day. I woke up at 3 in the morning. But I keep on clapping. Okay. So I'm really happy. This was actually, I didn't have to like rush this entire video. Woohoo! And I hope that this helped. You know, I hope that this helped someone, inspire someone. You know, if you get to the point where you don't want to live anymore, just remember that there's people out there who will love you. Eventually, you're going to meet someone and a friend who actually, you know, respects you and values you, and learn to value yourself. You know, you do have value. If God put you on this earth and you're living, that's what I learned, is that there's a reason for it. Because I dealt with that a lot after my suicide. I'm like, why didn't I die? Why didn't I die? I got so close to dying. Why didn't I die? I put a knife on my chest. Why didn't he take me? But it's like, then I realized everything happens for a reason. And if I wasn't meant to be here, then I wouldn't be here. And I talked to a lot of people about that. But yeah, so, and after that, I did try to kill myself again with a lot of pills. I took a bunch of sleeping pills and like all of my medicine one night, and I just fell asleep, and I slept for a really long time, and then I woke up and I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing that again. Like, obviously I'm meant to be here now. So it's been 2 times. So, I hope that this helped you. If you're the love of my life and you're out there, hi, babe, I really miss you. Hi in 3D world. And yeah, so I'm just trying to ascend out of here, reach higher consciousness no matter what blockages. If you're on the path to ascension, you know, when you're reaching those blockages and those hard days And, you know, those days where, you know, you're at a battle, you know, just keep going, man. Like Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going, because you'll get there. And there'll be that day where it's just like, hallelujah. And everything makes sense and everything is beautiful again. That's one of the things that happened to me. I went through so much shit and so many bad days, so many days with depression, so many days where I just tried to sleep my life away and try to avoid everything and try to eat my feelings away. And now I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Like, I want to get back to my younger self where I was like 140 pounds and dancing all the time and learn to shuffle and get painting again and sell string art and get back to blogging and get back to photography and, you know, being a creative person. So it does, you know, it all comes around because I'm telling you from someone who put a knife in her chest. If I could do it, you could do it. And your life will become something beautiful, and you can learn to inspire yourself and have love for yourself and inspire others and make a difference in this world, which is what we're all put here to do, is to make life better for others. We can help others. You know, that's the whole point of higher consciousness, is that we're all here, we're all walking each other home. I think Rumi said that. We're all just walking each other home, you know? We're all just on the path taking each other home. So while we're on this path, we might as well be kind to each other, you know, because we hope that others are kind to us. So, and that was the thing that I was talking about before, is just like when you start looking past yourself, and once I started looking past myself and doing things to raise consciousness, you know, for others, no matter how much hell it put me through, it made me look at in my past how many people have put themselves aside to help me out, you know. One time I was in this really bad way, and my brother just showed up at my door with his friend right when I needed him. And it's those moments like that where you really get to see, you know, how much of a difference one person can make in your life. And, you know, that's just kind of what I aspire to be, is I aspire to be that kind of person who helps others. That's why I'm putting this out there. You know, that's why I'm talking so, without really, like, I'm talking so openly, like, okay, cocaine, sex, mistakes I made, like all this kind of stuff, all these like things that I've had in my life. But the thing is that I'm doing that without a sense of self. I'm doing that with like, I'm openly talking because this could help someone beyond the self, beyond myself, you know. And when there's like no-self.com, and you know, and it's just like self is just an illusion, you know. We're all just experiencing ourselves as the universe in a different perspective. There really is no self at all. We are all, you know, one, and one is all, and we're all interconnected, you know. So, I hope that this helped you. I hope that you have a great day. Namaste, love and light. And I hope that you experience a lot of beauty in your life, and I hope that you truly like choose to see the beauty in your life, even in the hard times, you know. And if someone is in your life and they end up being taken away from you for whatever reason, or you lose a love or something, that happened for a reason. That's what I'm learning. Everything happens for a reason, and then there's something better for you, or maybe, you know, what's meant to be will always come back. You know, what's meant for you, you can't fight it away. What's ever meant for you is going to be there for you. So just be you, love your life, be your best self, you know, and do and chase the dreams that you want, because you can get them, dude. A lot of people think I'm batshit crazy or have called me batshit crazy in my life. It has not deterred me from my path. I still persevere. I've been called every name in the book. There's people out there, oh, that bitch is schizophrenic. Oh, this bitch is that. Oh, this bitch is that. That's fine. First of all, one, you're not saying it to my face. Second of all, you're saying it behind my back, so there must be something that you're avoiding dealing with within yourself. Third, your perception of me and my life does not, it's still my life. That's a great thing. People can say whatever they want about you. It's still your life. It's still my life. You might think I'm crazy for chasing my dreams and for putting inspiring messages out and not getting a lot of likes and a lot of follows and stuff. I don't post for that. I post to try and inspire. And the truth is that you end up inspiring a lot more people than you think, even though people really don't. Some people don't recognize it or acknowledge it. A lot of people are like that because they're working from an ego perspective. And that's fine, because everyone's in their own place in their journey. But I am not going to be the kind of person who is not going to put my truth out there because some people might call me crazy. That's fine. And most of it is people from my past who hate me, random girls who cheat on me with my ex-boyfriend who are like, oh, I don't like that bitch. first of all, you're sad and miserable, okay? And second of all, get over it. You know, I'm a strong person. I'm living my life. I'm living my truth. If you really hate on me that much, you're almost 30 years old. What are you doing? Dude, come on. Let it go. Be a sister, not a fucking hate. Like, I'm sorry, not a hater. Sisterhood. Sisterhood. Brotherhood and sisterhood. We are all family, okay? Conscious, community. We are all family. We are all one. Find the love and light in yourself and spread it. That's what I choose to do. If you really hate someone for spreading love and light, you have a problem, and it's not me. So that's number one. And that's just what I want to put out there, because there's a lot of haters, and I'm like, wow, okay. The one thing I'm happy about, my life isn't perfect, but I am not a hater. You know, if someone and I don't get along, we don't get along. You know, you don't like me, that's whatever. I love everybody. Like, I could meet someone on the street. I've met, like, homeless people on the street. I've invited them to my apartment. We've had, like, talks. I've given them soup. Like, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, my God, look at me. I don't judge people. Everyone has their own journey, you know. People have given me a lot of kindness. I give that kindness back. I pay it forward. So, that's just how I feel, you know, and I'm going to say how I feel because I'm an honest person, and because I've been through a lot of shit, and because I'm not going to let anybody tell me who I am or let me define myself or let the world tell me who I should be, because I did that for a long time and it didn't work out. And I'm not accessing from I'm not working from a fear-based mentality anymore. I'm working from a love-based reality, and that's what I learned after trying to kill myself. Was I switched from fear-based because I knew that I experienced after that, okay, I am going to someplace after this, and wherever I go, it's going to be beautiful, and I'm ascending there, and I'm going to work very hard so that I don't come back and get reincarnated again. So I'm happy. I am one happy motherfucker in my soul. I'm like, woo, I'm leaving this place. So, I have nothing to be I have nothing to be sad about. I have nothing to fear. Whenever I die, and I'll be happy to go when I do. You know, whenever my time is taken from this earth. But while I'm here, I'm gonna make my life beautiful. I'm gonna chase my dreams, and I'm gonna make my best self and best life. And that's what I learned. And some people think that's crazy. But I think it's crazy to just settle for stuff your entire life. I think it's crazy to hate people your entire life. I think it's crazy to disrespect people and talk shit about people behind their back their entire life and keep tabs on someone that you don't even like. So we all think different things are crazy. I think it's crazy to not realize that we're in a third dimensional reality of bullshit, that this is all fake, you know? And that to live in a life of judgment and constant criticism your entire life, you're really, honestly, you can hate people your entire life. You are literally giving yourself a miserable life. You're just going out there hating other people all your life instead of enjoying life, dude. Why are you doing that? I'm trying to help you. But like I've said 95 times now, which I keep on acting like I'm going to end this video, and I just keep going. I hope this has helped. I hope that you guys choose to be happy. I hope that one of you guys or two of you guys end up commenting and commenting. I think I said commenting. And saying, hey, what's up, you know, and I'm going to try to make this discoverable. It said to add a bunch of videos to make it discoverable. I watched a YouTube on how to make YouTube discoverable, and it's like, add a bunch of videos. So I added videos from like 2015, like most of my videos except for like 3 of them are from 2015, and they're all like 10 seconds long from like Snapchat. I don't really know. But they're not recent because I've been now 33 days sober. It's not true. I had a beer in a shower one day. Damn it. But I'm choosing to be sober now, and it makes me really happy. I stopped smoking marijuana, which marijuana kept putting me in a place of psychosis, and I would just start thinking, and I kept on doing it because I really missed my ex, and I was like, I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to think about anything. And whenever I'm smoking, it's like you think something for a minute, then you're like, wait, what was I thinking? Okay, I could just go from one thing to another. So I'm trying to do that more from a natural place now. I'm trying to have that type of mentality where I don't get connected, I don't get attached to any thought, I don't get attached to any emotions. You know, feel an emotion, let yourself feel it, because that's natural. You have to let yourself feel it. That's freedom, you know. Don't deny yourself feeling an emotion or thinking something. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, but allow yourself to feel it, and then, you know, let it go. Don't become, you know, your emotion. Don't become your thought. You know, you are more than these things, you know. So you are a being of infinite potential. You are limitless. You know, there are no boundaries. There are no rules. There are no limits. You literally have unlimited potential. And like Winston Churchill, I think once said, I think it was him, we are not scared of our darkness. What we are scared most of is our light. We're scared of our potential, because once we access that potential, we know then in our heart and head, once we get to that point, I can achieve anything I want. Wow, the doors are wide open. Anything can happen. Anything's possible. And that's kind of scary when you live your whole life fearing everything. You know, you can live your life fearing everything. Oh, what is this person going to think? Oh, what is that person going to think? Oh, what if I fail? Or you can go through life. I saw, like, when I went to San Francisco one time, I saw this quote, and it said on like a bar board, and it said, take a risk. You know, you can, if you get a chance to take a risk, you can always regret later. And I have since lived my life like that. I have I messaged my ex-boyfriend like 77 times. And he blocked me. It's just the truth. Yeah, he's blocked me. And then I saw this like meme, and it was like a girl like dressed up in different like costumes. It's like when he like blocks you on one account, so you make another. I was like, oh my god, that's my life, and I like hashtagged it living the dream. But then ever since then, I was like, part of the twin flame journey thing is like there's a twin flame runner, you know, and there's a chaser, and I was like, dude, I'm done chasing. Like, he obviously doesn't want anything to do with me. He keeps blocking me. So if he wants to get in touch with me, like, then he will, you know? So I was like, and I'm done being rejected. Because after I got rejected, honestly, I called the suicide hotline again because I felt really rejected. I felt really low. I ended up talking to my brother on the phone that night. And that's when I was kind of like, after that, I was like, I'm done being depressed. I'm done being sad about being rejected. I'm done feeling like I'm not enough for this person and letting my moods and my days be like absorbed and focusing on him. This is not obviously the time. Everything happens in divine right timing. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to make my best life. I started cleaning my apartment. I started organizing my life. I'm like, these are my goals. This is what I'm going to finish in January and February in this year of 2018. I'm going to make this the best year of my life for me. Because I've lived my life always trying to be enough for someone else. I'm going to live my life trying to be enough for me. And everyone should go and try and do that, you know? We all deserve to be happy. Everyone in this world deserves to be a happy person. No matter what you go through, you do deserve happiness, and you deserve real love. You know, and you deserve, the first thing that I learned is that you should learn to get real love from yourself. This is going to die soon, so I'm going to peace out, guys, and have a great day, okay? Namaste, love and light, and best of luck to you all. I'll be posting soon. See you soon.